Good morning, students. In this video, I will teach you NCERT Science Class 8, Chapter 1 Crop Production and Management. First of all, we will read about agriculture in this chapter. So, let's start. Agriculture. Food is essential for all living organisms. Green plants, as you have already learned, make their own food. However, animals, including humans, cannot synthesize food. They feed on either plants or other animals. In all cases, the food for animals comes directly or indirectly from plants. The science that deals with the raising of plants and the rearing of animals for human use is called agriculture. In a broad sense, agriculture includes first, soil management, the preparation of soil. Second, crop farming, the growing and harvesting of crops. Third, horticulture, the growing and harvesting of fruits, vegetables, flowers, and decorative plants. Fourth, animal husbandry, the breeding and raising of livestock, including poultry. So, how did agriculture start? For thousands of years, humans were wanderers who kept moving from place to place in search of food and shelter. Then, about 10,000 years ago, humans started growing plants such as wheat and barley. This marked the first great change in the human lifestyle. The spread of agriculture meant that humans no longer had to wander around in search of food. They could settle down in communities. They also started domesticating animals for food and other purposes. Agriculture thus made it possible for a larger population to be sustained in one place. Now we will read about modern agriculture. With an increase in population, humans had to learn to grow better quality crops and increase the yield. Over the years, humans learned more and more about crops and the conditions that were required for the healthy growth of crops. For example, rice grows well in clay soil and needs a lot of water, whereas wheat grows well in alluvial soil and needs less water. Humans realized how important water was for the healthy growth of plants. They therefore built dams and canals to help irrigate fields. Humans also made tools such as the sickle, axe, and plough to help them farm. They developed newer techniques of preparing the soil for cultivation. Machines such as tractors, combine harvesters, and threshers have improved the efficiency of agricultural processes and contributed to increased output. Another area that has seen tremendous progress in the past few decades is the development of new hardy, pest resistant, high yielding varieties of plants by scientists. For example, several high yielding varieties of wheat have been developed in India. Now, fertilizers and pesticides are also now available to farmers in plenty, ensuring proper nutrition and protection of crops. Added to all this, a good knowledge of soil types, requirements of crops, and climate helps the farmer. Now we will read about crops and their classification. The land where plants are cultivated is known as a field. Plants grown in large quantities in a field are known as crop plants or crops. Now, the first cultivated crops were cereals like wheat, barley, rice, and corn. Their seeds are rich in carbohydrates. Cereals therefore form the staple diet almost everywhere in the world. Cereals also contain proteins, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The now the crops based on products obtained. The products obtained from crops are called produce. Now I am going to tell you some common crops. First, cereals. Example wheat, rice, barley, corn, ragi. Second, pulses. Example gram, peas, beans. Root and tuber crops. Example sweet potato and potato. Oilseed crops. Example mustard, groundnut, sunflower. Sugar crops. Example sugarcane, sugar beet. Plantation crops. Example coffee, tea, rubber, coconut. And fiber crops. Example jute, cotton. Now we will discuss about crops based on seasons. Most crops grow well only in a particular season. Based on the season, crops are divided into two types. Summer crops called kharif crops and winter crops called rabi crops. So what is kharif crops? Kharif crops are grown in the summer between June and July and harvested by September or October. Rice, groundnut, maize, cotton, and pulses are some common examples of kharif crops. Now, what is Rabi crops? So, Rabi crops are grown in the winter season between October and November and harvested by March or April. Wheat, barley, mustard, potato, and peas are some common examples of Rabi crops. Now we will discuss about crops based on life cycle. Based on the time taken to complete their life cycle, crops are divided into annuals, biennials, and perennials. First, annuals. Crops that take one growing season to complete their life cycle are called annuals. Some examples of annuals are wheat, rice, and corn. Second, biennials. These crops take two growing seasons to complete their life cycles. During the first year, the plants store food in their roots. The energy in this food is then used by the plants to produce fruits and seeds in the second year. Carrots are perennials. These plants live for more than two growing seasons and continue to produce seeds. The apple and banana are some examples of perennials. Now we will read about agricultural practices. With the recent progresses made in agriculture, farmers have learned to cultivate crops in a systematic way. The tasks that a farmer carries out to cultivate crops are called agricultural practices. They are listed below. First, the preparation of soil. Second, the selection and sowing of seeds. Third, manuring. Fourth, irrigation. Fifth, weeding. Sixth, the protection of crops. Seventh, harvesting. Eighth, threshing and winnowing. Ninth, storage. Now, in next video, we will discuss about these agricultural practices in detail. Thank you.